Hello. Okay, where's my notebook? Got lots to talk about. I think I'm going to go over Laci Peterson documentary first. Did you guys, anybody watch that? It was a 3-part docuseries, American Murder. It was about Laci Peterson. It had a lot with her mother, Sharon, in it. And it covers the case from, of course, you know, the beginning of their lives, the marriage, has her friends there, the disappearance, has Amber Fry. It's very well done. Goes through the trial. It has Scott's side of the family as well. The only thing I'm surprised they didn't do at the end when they were going over all the recaps, they didn't talk about his appeal failing. They didn't do that, and they didn't put the part about that Innocence Project of LA and that. They didn't put that in there. But other than that, they really did a really good job with it. I think it's definitely, it gets a thumbs up. You definitely see it. It was very well done. It was very well done, factual, showed a lot of evidence in the case. In fact, we were watching it in Zoom, and Kristy said that she had found out some things that she never knew in the case. So, yeah, they showed about, again, the boat anchors and when they found the bodies. And you saw in depth with the investigators, Bashini, and it's just, it's well worth watching. I'm trying to think what else. A lot with Scott in there. His mother, his father. And then you had the sister-in-law that went back to law school, in order to help Scott. So I don't know if you guys watched it, but a lot of insight of how Sharon, Laci's mother, was feeling. And I think that's really important too. I think she's, it's a long time. It's over 20 years. So, yeah, let me go to the chat and see if any of you saw it other than the ones that were in Zoom with us. Let me shut that. I'm doing that again. Why am I doing that? Live chat. Okay. Hey, Alicia. Hi, Kristy. Hi, Margot. How are you? So, Kristy, you said that the thing that you saw that you didn't know is that he told Amber that he lost his wife on the same day that he bought the boat. But was it the same day or was it the day before? But it was right around that time, right? The 9th, I believe it is. And I don't know if there was anything else that you didn't hear that. I think what else we have. Hi, Alicia. How are you? Was there anything else, Kristy, that you saw? In there? I don't know if I don't know if there was anything really that I didn't know. I think I knew about most of it, but I was interested in hearing from Sharon Rocha about what she, to hear from her and to hear from, you hear some more from Laci's brother, Brent, and I just think it's good. I think that's all I didn't know. Yeah, so definitely check it out. And the other thing I'm going to discuss is I did some more diving, and I want to do some more diving into it's surfacing again. They're saying that Kristy, not this Kristy, called the cops on Gypsy, that they were having something. But wouldn't that be in a police blotter, police activity for cutoff, right? Wouldn't that call be out there? Wouldn't that be pretty easy to see if they went to the residence? So I'm going to look into that. But I decided to go down the rabbit hole. We started with Mommy, Dad, and Dearest, going down that rabbit hole and about Dee Dee. But I decided to, do a lot of research and get into more of what the things that Dee Dee did. And so we're going to talk about that, and that how Gypsy is, like, even, I think Gypsy's even worse than her mother. And let's see where I was. A lot of people are talking about, there's a lot of Facebook posts between Gypsy and Nick that have not been released yet until Nick exhausts his appeals. So I bet you those are going to be crazy. Okay, so this is still let me see where I started from today. Those are my notes from last night. Okay, so I want to run the investigators, the sheriff. He said right away, things are not always as they appear. And like I said, and then he said things took a twist, but he thought they were going to twist back in the trial for Gypsy. It didn't happen, right? She took the plea deal. But something more current, I want to talk about a video of Gypsy's that just goes to show you, like, her mindset. When she was talking about her relationship with her and Ken, she said, "My hope is Ken and I will have that fairy tale dream life with each other that we've always dreamed of." She sets herself up to fail. And that brings me back to something from Life After Lockup. There was something when she was sitting on the bed and she's talking about something with Ryan, and she says, "But what if we have a disagreement? Like a disagreement or an argument with Gypsy and you're done." You see, she doesn't understand, like, she's not rational. She's not rational. And if she's thinking that any marriage is a fairy tale, then really she's going to be in for a rude awakening. Absolutely. If that's what she believes. And it seems to me that's what she believes, and that's what she's looking for. And and then you see the flashbacks of her at Disney with the royal mashed potatoes. And it's so cringe, okay? And then there's other things like that she would take out her denture plate or whatever it was whenever she wanted to look like extra special. Let's put it that way, okay? And or younger, like when they were still trying to get these trips. Which brings us to, we're going to talk about how did I'm going to talk about her mother Emma. Dee Dee did everything to Gypsy's. Yeah, I'm going to talk about all of that. I'm going back into that. Yeah. But here's the thing. Gypsy lied, okay? Gypsy was saying like her age was changed. Gypsy's age wasn't changed because there are articles where her age lines up with what it really is. Like it'll say she's 14 in the year she was 14. So it's as she started to get older and Make-A-Wish and a lot of charities that they had the most luck with, right? That's what really got them, was that Gypsy was a child. And so that's when they started to change her age. But Gypsy, when she was interrogated, is going with that same old thing about Katrina and her age being changed and that it was always changed. Oh, and then the great one that Gypsy says, oh my gosh, to some interviewer. Well, how didn't you know how old you really were? She knew how old she really was. But do you know what she told them? She said that her mother didn't put the number candles on the birthday cake, so she didn't know how old she was. Now, I happen to use those number candles because I like them, and they were always used when I was growing up, but I would have known if I was turning 9 whether there was a number 9 on the cake or not. Most kids will know how old they're turning once they're of that age, right? 7, 5, they know how old they are. There's a lot of people that don't use those number candles. There's some people, like I found out, that don't even use birthday cakes. So those people don't know how old they are, Gypsy, then? Did anybody hear her tell, I forget who she was. She could have been the person that was interviewing her in prison. Did anybody hear her say that? That she didn't know how old she was because her mother stopped using those number candles. And if I would have been the reporter, I would have been like, oh, come on, Gypsy. You would only know how old you are because there was a number candle in your cake? That was bizarre. Sorry, that was absolutely bizarre. But okay, wait, let's see what I have here. So, now Dee Dee, speaking of like Dee Dee and her mother and stuff, Dee Dee's high school friends, okay, and they were Michelle and Valerie, they said that Dee Dee was a wonderful woman, but she was a masterful con woman. She was, but her high school friends claim that she wasn't always that way. And that when she did go and do this stuff, it was mostly when she had Gypsy. That's when it got real bad because she wanted Gypsy not to want for anything. She wanted Gypsy to have this fairy tale life. And this is what she was doing. Whereas with Gypsy and her manipulation in cons is all about what's good for Gypsy. Hi, Luke.
Hello.
Hello. So it's all about what's good for Gypsy. And so it's very, very different, right? Because Dee Dee also let herself go. Do you know she was only 48 years old when she was killed? 48. And she wasn't taking care of herself at all. She had a lot of health conditions. But that's another thing that Gypsy lied about. If you watch interviews that Gypsy gave after she's been out of prison, she says her mother was diagnosed with things that she never was. She never was. Like, oh, she was diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia. And, you know, that's not true.
I love you.
Good night, I love you. That's not true. So Gypsy will say whatever it is, and it's for her benefit. Whereas Dee Dee and Gypsy, yeah, they con together. They would do a lot of things like shoplift together, and Gypsy would hide things under princess dresses in her wheelchair and all that stuff. And oh, get this one. If those alarms went off, Dee Dee was prepared she had a notice, a letter from I think it was from the doctor that said that Gypsy had some kind of a implant or something that made those alarms go off. So of course they wouldn't question them, right? So they got away with this, and it was never like that it was big stuff. It was more like, I don't know so much why they were doing that, but yeah, they did that. And there's only one store that they weren't allowed to go in, and that was a Hobby Lobby, because they had just done it too many times. So that would be interesting if somebody asked her to go, but that doesn't make sense because she was in a Hobby Lobby. Isn't that funny? Maybe that's why she chose to go into Hobby Lobby. I think it was Missouri that they were not allowed to go back in. But she was in a Hobby Lobby. Isn't that funny? She was probably like, big F you. Okay, that's interesting. Just thought about that right now. Okay, so Dee Dee was a pathological liar. So her friend said it wasn't that like she was evil and stuff in high school, but she made up these really tall tales. And we've seen it around YouTube. Plenty of people do this in order on this platform. We've run into many people like this that say things. They either pretend they have a lot of money or because they think people will like them better for I don't know what reason. They pretend they know really influential people, or they've led a life that they didn't do because they think that who they are, they're not worthy to get friends or something. And to have these friends that they want to make their life more exciting. So Dee Dee was like that. So she would say, that she knew celebrities. And that was a big thing about knowing celebrities, and they loved it when they took Gypsy and then she would get her picture with celebrities. And Dee Dee, we saw it in the interrogation room. She loved telling that officer of all the things she did, and she embellished things and said she was part of organizations that she wasn't. Dee Dee was like that. So she was, oh guys, I know that whatever, let's say band, ZZ Top. Oh, I know the guys in ZZ Top. Leonard Skinner. I know the guys in Leonard Skinner. One of them is my best friend and my uncle. He's my uncle. I'm making examples here, okay? This is not what she actually said, but I'm trying to give you the gist of what it is. Those type of people, right? Oh gosh, did you know that her lead singer was my brother's college roommate? Right? So those kind of people, right? Fake name droppers. Then you're going to think, oh wow, they're really important. Well, that's what Dee Dee did, that kind of stuff. Said that she knew people that she didn't, said that she knew celebrities that she didn't, but she was really focused around bands like that. Okay? So, she did that, and they knew it. People knew she was lying, but again, her father and her mother gave her everything, gave Dee Dee everything. They had, money. Her father was successful, but then she still was doing stuff she didn't need to do. Then her mother died. And when her mother died, that's was the turning point for Dee Dee. She really went through a mental break when the mother died. And she had a crush on a guy once, and so she started telling him things. So she used these lies. What is it, Sharon? You said, it's been said Dee Dee changed after her mother died. Yes, but she was in her 30s by then. I don't think she was in her 30s by then. Something more led to her being a pathological liar long before that. I don't think she was in her 30s by then. Was she? Let me see. Well, she was Sharon, she was lying in high school and stuff, okay? She was lying when she had crushes on boys. Yes, she was lying. But it was after her mother died that she had like this break, okay? So she would make things up and do all that before her mother died. But, yeah, you know, her mother had spoiled her, okay? So she said, like, she was close to rock stars and all that stuff. But Dee Dee's mom was very involved, and there's even a picture where Dee Dee's in the pageants, right? Like she might even be 20 years old when she's in that stuff. I think it was the Florida for the Nationals, some kind of a pageant. And there's pictures of her with her parents, and then there's another picture of her father with like a big like cotillion dress. You know what I'm talking about? And so, but when her mom died, there was erratic behavior. Everything just changed, completely changed. And Valerie said that Dee Dee had a total mental collapse after her mother died. And that's the friend. And then her father, he would have done anything for her. He was successful. Then he remarried, right? And then I don't think Dee Dee liked the stepmom. And then there were allegations coming from the stepmom and the dad about that Roundup poisoning, right? So, when she had Gypsy, allegedly she was premature, right? And but then there were all kinds of explanations, and they did talk about the chromosome abnormality, but then she said that she had microcephaly, and you know, she would tell us that she had different things, that kind of the sleep apnea that Rod said right in the documentary, and then the the sleep apnea, that the gastrointestinal digestive issues that she had, the hearing loss, the lazy eye, and the eyesight. So Rod was saying, you know, that was all real though, okay? So the things that she had, and this is the thing people don't understand, because there's still people that are going around, they're going like, oh my gosh, but Gypsy had this and Gypsy had that, and no, those were all lies told, okay? That Gypsy had all these surgeries and she had these salivary glands removed and all of this stuff. That's not true. The procedures she had were needed. Thanks, High 621. The procedures that she had were needed. Okay, she didn't have things that weren't needed. And the one thing that they did do is they used that wheelchair and then shaved Gypsy's head. And they said that she had leukemia. And they said that she had muscular dystrophy. That was not true. But see, that was to get the charities. That was because they got 2 and 3 weeks in Disney because of that. Universal, they got a house built for them. That kind of stuff was their grift. That was their con. But Gypsy knew this. Like, she knew about this con. She knew she could walk. Okay? So it was an act. And she even said, her mother told her, like, how to act when you're in the wheelchair. Act quiet. Or you see her, like, when she acts really, like something's wrong with her. When her mother takes her across the stage and they sing at that, in front of all those people, right? Oh, that song she sings. Or they have that interview at the house. Fairy tales really do come true. And I want to know where that little dog is that they're posing with. They're posing with this little dog, and he's up under their necks, and it almost looks like they're choking this dog. Where is that little dog? Does anybody know what happened to that little dog? Looks like a little applehead Chihuahua puppy. What happened to that dog? Sharon says, I have a feeling that Dee Dee had Laura stepping into Emma's place so quickly. They kicked Dee Dee and Gypsy out not long after. Coincidentally, the wheelchair and feeding tube appeared around then. Yeah, and then, let me see here. So, what do I have down here? When, the funny thing is, okay, whether it was during the interrogation, and I said this yesterday, during the interrogation, during the interview, when she was interviewed in prison, whenever Gypsy, and even after she got released from prison, when they asked her, describe your mother, Gypsy doesn't say abusive. She says unique, overprotective, a little overprotective. Why, during that interrogation, didn't she say abusive? Because, see, she wasn't. And as Dee Dee got towards the end, right before her death, Dee Dee was in really, really bad health. Okay, you see the pictures, you see what happened. Like, Dee Dee's face is huge, like a moon, okay? It's like she's swollen, she had gout, she had kidney issues, she had high blood pressure, diabetes. She had a lot of health issues. She wasn't taking care of herself. And at that point, then it is Gypsy, I believe, is the abuser. Because why would Gypsy's mother say, don't hurt me? Those were her last words. And that's out of Gypsy's mouth. Said, my mother, we had been fighting for a couple of days, and I made my peace with her, and I told her I was going to be a good girl, and she said, don't hurt me. So where the police said there's twists and turns and things are not always as they appear, Gypsy may have been the one that was abusing her mother. Now, yes, we know that the mother was putting her into these cons, but she could have left. Now, there's other things that how Gypsy never takes accountability for anything that she did. Well, there was a time that Gypsy sent some really horrible Facebook messages to Rod and to Mia, and they were nasty. Like they talked about being a deadbeat dad. There were even like sexual like images she sent, like just really, really raunchy stuff. And she sent it to Mia and she sent it to Rod. And Kristy and Dee Dee, see, this is another misconception. Kristy and Dee Dee were closer than people think. Kristy and Dee Dee were able, like, to send messages to each other. They could talk. They knew each other, okay? And there was a time that there was some kind of storm coming, and Dee Dee even told them, go on over to her house. Come on over. And, you know, Kristy's like, no, we're going to be fine here. So, and then there was like a love you. But, so they talked often, right, Oliver? So she sent these really horrible things to her father and to Mia. So instead of Dee Dee making Gypsy accountable for that, okay? Because apparently Kristy and Rod said, like, what the hell? She wrote them back and said, you know what, guys? This is Dee Dee writing back. I've been like sick. Now I'm going to paraphrase, okay? Because I don't have the message in front of me verbatim. I've been sick over this. The doctor had to put me on extra heart medication again, you know, because... And it's made me sick when I think of that. I couldn't even read those messages. Please apologize to little Mia and let her know that was not her sister that sent those pictures. So what she did was she blamed it on the neighbor girl next door. And she told them that the neighbor girl was helping Gypsy because Gypsy has bad eyesight. She can't do this, she can't do that. She could never do this on her own. Oh yeah, well, how did the pictures get taken? You know, like there's like so much like, oh, was the neighbor girl taking the pictures too? Come on. So she tells her that it's all that neighbor's fault and that neighbor came over and confessed. And you see, so there she is. Dee Dee was Gypsy's enabler, right? Maybe Dee Dee did flip, you know, at Gypsy and be like, what the heck did you send? Oh my gosh. And maybe she did flip for 2 days. And maybe she did smack Gypsy, okay? Because Gypsy in court, we were also watching the testimony. She says, oh, that the abuse became more physical, okay? She was hitting her more. But maybe the abuse is more physical. Maybe Gypsy was hitting her mother more, okay? But whatever it was, maybe the mother did get upset that time and be like, how did you send that to them, right? What are we going to do? And so the mother took care of it for her. So the mother took care of it for her. So Gypsy learned, like, it's okay. I can do something. I can really do something. My mother will take care of this for me. And her mother was there for her until she really wanted to get with these guys. And that's when that they started to fight a lot, because in order to get the children's charities and stuff, Gypsy had to be a child. And she couldn't have this life with boyfriends and things because it wasn't going to fit the cons they were running, okay? So maybe the mother was figuring like they had 4 years, right? Because people thought she was 14 years old. So they had 4 years to do this. Who knows if she said to Gypsy, just do this for another 4 years and then you can live your own life. I don't know what it is. We're not going to know. We weren't privy to that. But whatever it was, Gypsy didn't want it. And she had 3 different plans of action. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. Plan A was that she was going to pretend she just met Nick at the movies and have a relationship. And she said that didn't go well because her mother didn't like him. Her mother said he's a head in the closet type of guy. There was a Plan B. And the Plan B was to get pregnant. Again, there's that pregnant farce, right? Get pregnant. And then the Plan C was to unalive the mother. Now, there's also said that in order to get Nick, because Nick just said he wanted to run away. He wanted to run away. He didn't want to kill Dee Dee. And in order to get him really angry, that that Gypsy claimed she had a miscarriage because of her mother doing something with the making her have something done with the feeding tube. And so that would get Nick really mad because that was his child. So let's see. Okay, so something is wrong with Gypsy because, well, whether, okay, we could talk about psychopathy, all that stuff, but Gypsy doesn't have empathy. She doesn't have remorse. And she will just turn on you in a moment, like just like how she discarded Ryan. It wasn't that she lies and said, oh, she's committed towards your marriage. That's not committed towards your marriage. Okay? She will turn on you in an instant. And she has anger issues, and we've seen it mentioned in the text messages between her and Nick. We've seen it mentioned. And well, not really heart made wise. They're usually, it's like they're born that way. Okay, it's sad, but there's something missing. So now it's like what I've been trying to explain all week, when they just have something like, there's such a weird look in their eye, and they just do the most horrendous things, and it's just scary. It's really, really scary when you see it. Okay, so but anyway, Dee Dee was like super, like laser focused on Gypsy, right? She was going to give Gypsy this fairy tale life, whatever it is. She was going to give it to her. And again, when Dee Dee was doing these cons, they weren't for her, they were for Gypsy. Okay? They were to give Gypsy all this stuff. She sacrificed herself. Like, she didn't take care of herself or anything, like I said. And that's why at like 48 years old, she was in horrific health. It was horrendous. And then I think we've seen how the kind of things that Dee Dee was into, like the celebrities and all that stuff, that got passed right on to Gypsy, and how they love to name drop and talk about all the things they got to do and the people they got to see and those pictures with the celebrities they got to take them with, right? Okay. They got to go, like, they did more than just 2 to 3 weeks at Disney. They went whale watching. If you listen to her tell the cop in the interview, and he's like, oh, really? Whale watching? And yeah, oh, yes, we went in Cape Cod and we saw, I think she said 9 humpback whales. Just listen to her, what she talks about, the Universal. And then there was another trip where she was the St. Louis Arch and stuff, and all over she was going, right? All those sci-fi conventions, Vision Con, and all of that, with the full costumes, everything. There were always, whenever they would go to Disney, she was going with the full, the princess dresses and everything. And Dee Dee was like right alongside for it, taking her the whole 9 yards. You know, you're going to sit with all the princesses. She had everything. She went in Cinderella's castle, had the royal mashed potatoes, all of that. Let's see here. What did I say? So the Make-A-Wish, they actually did like 3 Make-A-Wish trips, which is unheard of, okay? And Gypsy herself knew she was over the age of 18 when they did the last one. Let's see. Oh, the neighbor said that Dee Dee could be also a very giving person. The neighbor said she did. She would do things like she would bake stuff and invite the neighbors over, and they would use a projector and show movies on the side of their house. So yeah, I mean, she was also giving, but she did a lot of cons to get things. But they all involved Gypsy. Now, let's just say Gypsy is pregnant. Will Gypsy do this for the benefit of her child? I don't know. Gypsy seems very consumed with herself, and never taken any responsibility or anything for anything she's done. Let's see here. It's never Gypsy's fault. And then that's 2011 is when she sent those messages to her father and to Mia. And the mother, just took about a couple days and then came up with something and blamed it on the neighbor's daughter, Let's see. And did Dee Dee have to be, I think Dee Dee probably was seeing just how over sexual that Gypsy was and how she was running after guys, and she was probably doing a lot of stuff on that computer with sending pictures and stuff, and Dee Dee probably saw all of that, okay, and was probably really was going through 2 days of craziness. Let's see. Oh, but she assured Kristy that, oh, don't worry, she's not seeing, this was a crazy one. She told Kristy that she's not seeing any boys. She wants to stay with me. She actually wants to be a nun, is what she wants. She doesn't even want a boyfriend. That was all lies, right? And we're always together, and the only men that come to the house are the delivery men. And I'm there because I have to sign for the deliveries. Let's see. So Gypsy learned to blame others, right? She blamed everything in that interrogation on Nick. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Gypsy wrote letters. We read some of them to the aunt and stuff saying, oh, my part was small. Don't believe what you see in the media. They're making me out to be something. I'm still that innocent girl that loves Disney princesses. That was really important for her, right? Let's see here. So she's still the little girl, that loves Disney princesses. Oh, and kittens. And kittens. Not me, just trying to, picture her as a nun. I know, right? Crazy. It was just all, it was all a, try to smooth it over and make everything better kind of thing. Let's see. Gypsy told lies, even when she got out and she was with Ryan for interviews, she was still telling lies that she didn't need to tell anymore. I don't know if you guys realize that. So that's a problem, okay? That's a problem. Oh, Sister Gypsy? Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right? When she was trying to say, remember when she was all mad, she was going on interviews, she went on The View, she went on that guy's podcast, she went on another one, and she was incensed that people were calling her a murderer, and she is not a murderer. She was saying that she did not do that Nick did that, and people need to remember that. She did not commit the act. I mean, she was part of the crime, but only a small part. So she was still saying this, that she said he did the kill. Those are her, he did the kill. That's just, she says, I can't kill anyone. I don't identify as a murderer. With no empathy, no remorse. And then she kept up on with lies with Ryan in interviews, that she should have left alone. Like, why was she continuing it? But she was. It's nuts. She said that to the aunt. She doesn't remember in that letter half of what happened that night. She said, when we talked about that other jail interview, she doesn't know right from wrong. And Kristy tried to correct that when she said she didn't know right from wrong when she was on with Ashley Banfield. But Gypsy didn't even go through therapy in prison. So, it's just so crazy. Let's see. She has incredibly toxic personality traits. And she does. She's scary. Like, I don't know how anybody can think that she cares about somebody, because she doesn't. Everything she does is self-serving. And just like how she just, like, I'm trying to explain this to you, like, because I don't know if any of you have really seen a person like this in real life. And they can pretend like if it's going the right way, like when she wanted that puppy, and, oh, we're going to go get the puppy. But the minute something happens, and then she just turns, and it's like she was being so mean and hateful to Ryan. Right? Just completely so mean and hateful to him. And, oh, well, what if we have a disagreement? Or, yeah, well, I did tell them. Like big deal. Well, you're not going to stop me. Like, she wanted to stick it to him, to hurt him. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, who would want to be that? Those are toxic personality traits. Who would want to be with someone like that? They don't have empathy. They don't care about the person they're with. They don't have those feelings. That's the psychopathy. Sociopathy. That's both of those. They don't have empathy. And they don't have those feelings of love. Remember, we went through that book, and they can't even feel that for their own children. It's really sad, and it's not something you can't fix it. It's done. You can't. Let's see. Let's see here. So, like, Dee Dee, her whole life was overindulged. Gypsy was overindulged. Now, if Gypsy is pregnant, is it going to be overindulgence of this child? Is it going to be the same cycle repeating each other? I don't know, right? But you have to remember now, Nick Godejohn. If you look up Nick Godejohn and you look at the interviews, and they're out there on YouTube, that he's done from prison, he says that Gypsy told him she tried to kill her mother before. And that was the scene with the BB gun that we heard about in her book and all of this. Shot her mother 10 times with a BB gun, but she thought it was a real gun. And that was all about that Dan character. And Nick said there was 2 times before, so that there was even another time, and then the third time, she succeeded in how getting him to do that. But yeah, Nick said in that interview, I just wanted to run away. Gypsy said no. Gypsy tried 3 times to unalive her mother. there was something that she was telling that investigator that was sitting with her before the other investigator came in before her interrogation. And there was an organization that did something for her, and she had an outfit from them, but she lied to that investigator. And it's really scary because she told that investigator she was part of that organization. So you see, she twisted it around towards this organization that came and did something for Gypsy. Then she was saying to the investigator, because I guess she wanted to sound great, that, oh, no, I did this. And she described herself doing what these people did for her. I don't know if you guys caught that. Let's see here. Again, the most crazy thing is that she says she didn't know how old she was because of the candles. She said when it happened when she was 8 years old, her mother stopped using those number candles in the cake. Okay, when she was 8 years old. But that's not true, because if you look back on articles, like when they went to Missouri, they have her age as 14 in the right year. It wasn't at 8 years old that her mother tried to change her age. She wouldn't have had to change her age at 8 years old. Okay? It was when she started aging, up there, like 14, 15, 16. Then she had to change her age. But she didn't have to change her age at 8 years old, and yet Gypsy's saying she didn't know her age because her mother stopped using those number birthday candles. That's crazy. Okay. So anybody that didn't have number birthday candles, I guess you don't know how old you are. Okay. According to Gypsy, that's the way it is. But it's all a lie. Let's see. Yeah, and another thing, like when you go through and you see, you watch that documentary, Mommy, Dead and Dearest, and you hear certain people say, oh, she lived a very isolated life. No, she didn't. No, she didn't live an isolated life. Okay? She didn't. She got to go on those trips. She was at Girl Scouts. She was in church and Catholicism classes, made her first Holy Communion. She was out there with other kids. She played with the kids in her neighborhood. Yeah, she wasn't isolated the way people think. They went on so many trips, whale watching to Cape Cod. The Santa thing was that, she still believed in Santa Claus. That's just another lie, Amy. That's just to show that, oh, she's just so poor, naive. Gypsy, she wouldn't hurt a fly. That's what that's about. Poor, naive Gypsy. Come on. Let's see here. Oh, another thing that's really interesting for those that want to keep saying that she was the victim of Munchausen's by proxy, right? She was the victim of Munchausen's by proxy. Well, I've showed you that Kristy said they couldn't get a lawyer to take the case. Gypsy said she couldn't get one lawyer to take her case. They couldn't get a lawyer to take the case because it's not true. It's not true. And the procedures that Gypsy had were necessary for the health issues that she has. So all of those people that say, oh my gosh, she was the victim of this Munchausen's by proxy. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Not a lawyer would take it because it never happened. Exactly, Amy. Exactly. And you've heard that from Kristy wrote it down. It's in posts. And Gypsy said it in interviews after she's gotten out of prison. Okay. Oh, and here's something. There's posts from Kristy that I've seen where when this happened, Kristy, some people didn't even know that Kristy had a stepdaughter, okay? Until this happened. And then Kristy became Stepmother of the Year, going on all these shows, but she said, oh my gosh, Rod's daughter was kidnapped, and her mother was unalived, and oh my gosh, we're hoping we can get justice for this, and all of that stuff. And then I think that's what fueled her to try to run with the Munchausen's by proxy, because she had brought all this out, and she didn't want anybody to think that Rod's daughter was a cold-blooded killer, right? So they had to be a victim. And that's when Gypsy texts, I'm not a perfect victim. But you're not a victim, Gypsy. You're not a victim. Your mother was your victim because she's the reason, you're the reason she's dead. You made all the premeditated moves to unalive her. You're not a victim, Gypsy. Your mother was. Okay, so, yeah, she's not a perfect victim, she says. Let's see. Oh, and then remember the, did we look at it last night, that the post last night by Kristy that says she never wants, if this makes it to a major motion picture, she doesn't want any money from it. She doesn't want that blood money. Really? Fast forward, right? What are they all doing? They're posing in front of Mommy, Dead and Dearest as a family of that picture, right? And they were in that Mommy, Dead and Dearest. And they were in Life After Lockup. What happened, Kristy? That's crazy. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. And apparently the reason Kristy got in with all these creators is because she was going into all the Facebook groups and I think even the Reddit groups on Gypsy and going in there and writing in there and defending herself and all of that. And that's how all of that started. Oh, and then anybody that heard Rod or Kristy say the first time that Gypsy walked, they saw her walk was in that courtroom, they say that everybody knew Gypsy could really walk, that really knew her. They knew she could walk, and so did Rod and Kristy. Let's see. Oh, and then people that said, I guess, the last event that Dee Dee and Gypsy went to, they said that Dee Dee looked really, really bad, okay? There was no way that she was going to be doing anything to Gypsy. In fact, it was the other way around. And yeah, Dee Dee was looking really, really disabled. Yeah, she was in bad shape, and that's why, please don't hurt me. What's Jip gonna do when Kristy and Ken get together? I don't think she really cares too much, because there's another video where Kristy is ironing Ken's shirt. Kristy is ironing Ken's shirt. Isn't that crazy? Hi, Donna. Kevin, let's see here. So that's all of that is so bizarre. The videos just keep getting more and more bizarre. Oh, and when she was in court, she was accusing her mother of hitting her and starving her when she went to testify for in the Nick Godejohn trial. Let's see what else. But she did say that it was her idea. She said she stole money from her mother, over $1,000, and she sent it to him by mail. So wouldn't that almost make it murder for hire, huh? Right? Wouldn't that make it murder for hire? Yeah, I don't know. So, $1,000, somebody could say that, but, how do we know that he used it on the tickets? Well, they were saying, well, what did he use? Did he use his own money? I don't know. Don't forget, they mailed the weapon. Yeah, she mailed the weapon she put it in 2 different envelopes, and he mailed it to Nick's house. And don't forget, she shoplifted that knife, right? She got it. Got the murder weapon. Right? So, I don't know. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah, she got the murder weapon from Walmart. And, there's also some other stuff about, everybody's waiting for the autopsy to come out on Dee Dee. And there's like a lot of misinformation on how she died. And she died from internal hemorrhaging. There wasn't a lot of blood on the bed. And it's because she bled out inside. Because her lungs were hit, and her heart, I believe it was, which caused her to bleed out inside, internally. So we have that. But yeah, I'm thinking about that money, like, that could easily have been connected to, how did they know, like, somebody could have said, did she pay you to murder the mother? And then the money she got afterwards, right? The $4,000 to $5,000. Okay? $4,000 to $5,000. So, I don't know. Oh, we've got our troublemakers in here. Okay. Gypsy also admitted physical abuse didn't start till after the Dan incident. My guess is the opposite. Gypsy started abusing Dee Dee when she was getting pushback. Probably. I can believe that, Sharon. Yeah. And yeah, Gypsy was out of control then. She was like hypersexual. The email she sent to Nick's parents saying that she will look after him during the trip is shameful. Yeah, I mean, she could have just, she wanted that money. She wanted that money. That was all Gypsy. He would have run away. He said it. He would have run away. He would have run away. She wasn't happy with that. She kept saying now, this paper that she had, her mother had, that she was incompetent, and she thought that even though she was an adult, that they would send her back. Does anybody find out if that paper really exists? Oliver, have you heard if that paper really exists, that competency paper? Because as an adult, they wouldn't send her back, because Dee Dee could be accused of kidnapping and holding her against her will once she's over 18. Did I read Nick's stepfather's, hold on a minute, statement? Which one? Which one, Sharon? Which one? Oh, that's not true about the competency paper? Well, she has even repeated that lie. If that really is false, she has repeated that after getting out of prison. Hi, Ruff. She stole too. Oh, yeah. Yes, she did. And I'd like to see those, all the Facebook messages. But, and then there's so many different stories about what happened, like when Dee Dee was being unalived. Okay, one story, she says she's laying on the floor in a fetal position, covering her ears. Another story, she's obeying Nick, right? She's obeying him, and she has to, she's shaving the areas that allegedly he wanted her to be, But then another version of that, okay, is that allegedly she was not in the bathroom at that time. And that, I think, came from a former cellmate, I believe that story is circulating from. When Gypsy was explaining her age to the detective, she mentioned Social Security number. Didn't she mention Medicaid as well? She mentioned something about her insurance. I don't know that she mentioned drawing disability. She said that the Hurricane Katrina had, her birth certificate washed away, and when it was, they made a mistake on it, and they put the wrong date. And I think she said something about insurance, her medical insurance. But I don't remember her saying that she was drawing disability. I don't recall anything like that. Just from the act. What, Oliver? For a girl to know what to do on the internet. Lost paperwork, yeah, in Hurricane Katrina, yeah, that's all crazy stuff. And what did I say that, yeah, how come there's got to be a cutoff Louisiana police blotter where you would see if the police were actually called out to the house, right? The way she worded it made me think she was when she brought it up. Yeah, I didn't hear that. She says something on Mommy, Dad, and Dearest. About what, Oliver? She says what about Mommy, Dad, and Dearest? No, he wasn't her first guy. And I think she was running out at night with a lot of other guys. I remember she said in the text messages to Nick, what if I want to do something before we go away with somebody else? Hi, Soul Civilly. I don't listen to Gyp. There are other sources that are factual. Okay, yeah. Well, I listened to her interviews so I could see like what she's lying, what she says. Usually it is all lies, and compare that to Discovery, to the reports, the case reports, the crime scene reports, the interrogations, the interviews. You agree this case is crazy after she manipulated Nick. Yeah, I mean, I just... Dee Dee could not get paid as a caregiver. Oh, she could get... Yeah, she could. I don't know if... Did they have that program back then, Oliver? I don't know if they had that back then. She had you fooled. She had a lot of people fooled. A lot of people felt sorry and thought she was a victim of Munchausen's by proxy. But it's not the case. It's not the case. The lost paperwork. You have at home, just the records are held. Oh yeah, of course, right. But I know that she was saying that everything, I guess she was trying to say the whole clerk's office and everything was destroyed in Hurricane Katrina. They lost everything. That's what she's saying. And that she's acting like nothing was backed up on computer databases or anything. You know what I'm saying? And when they redid it, they put the wrong date. That's what she said. The one thing that never will make sense is that she went on Dee Dee's account and wrote what she did and made Nick get caught. Well, exactly, and that's why I believe she had Nick bite her and stuff, because she wanted marks on her and she wanted him to assault her. Okay? That was important. She wanted to say she was Ard. She wanted to throw him right under the bus. Once he fulfilled what she needed, she thought she was going to get off scot-free. She couldn't believe it when they were going to take her to jail. And then she started telling them she had all kinds of health conditions and she couldn't go. And that's why she kept doing something with her arm. She was probably taking that bite and trying to press on it really hard to make sure that it made a really good bruise. Detectives messed up big time because it wasn't so the detectives. It was the DA's office, because the investigators were angry, it seems, that they did what they did because they knew that this case had a twist and another twist in it, and they said we were going to find out who Gypsy really was in trial, and things are not what they appear. So I think the investigators are just as upset. And I'm going to start going over the Life After Lockup episodes again another time, because that's where I think you can really, really see that She has no empathy, no remorse, no caring about anybody. She is just out for what in the moment, and she'll say whatever it is. Because Ken is not her Prince Charming. Believe me. This is all fake. She has her sights set that she, as obsessed as they are with celebrity and stuff, and what she thinks about Kim Kardashian and how she has pinned that Kim Kardashian thing to her Instagram. She has it pinned. That's what she wants, okay? And she's not interested in being an advocate. She knows she can't be an advocate for Munchausen's by proxy because she knows it's not true. She wasn't a victim of that. So that's one thing. So she doesn't want to do work that it would take to be an advocate. So she says, oh, I can't do it because people just say something and I just want to just show how I live my life, because she knows she can just go on TikTok and show herself getting ready, and that doesn't take any work. She does it live, right? Just puts on her makeup, and that's all she's doing, and that to her is just fine. She doesn't have to go, she says, oh, she wants to get back to Make-A-Wish, but where has she done that? Has she done that? Did she show us? I know she gets these PR companies that are trying to help her image, but they typed it all out back then. She's got that sweet deal over politics. Yes, Lexi. Yes, it's horrible. And then, the prosecutor saying, well, what are you going to do? She lived, basically like a hostage or something. Come on, please. Royal mashed potatoes? Nick should have gotten the deal, not her. The investigators begged the corrupt DA not to give her a plea. They were still investigating and they already knew she was dangerous. Yes, absolutely. Soul souffle. I still have it. It's sickening, especially for our youth. Yeah. I don't know, Kevin, about the toxicology report. People will see through her eventually. Oh yeah, the truth always comes to light. Yeah, it is sick, and then when people come and they go like this, oh, that's not, this, we're not, we're discussing facts here. We're discussing a case here. This is a true crime channel. This is a true crime. This is a true crime, and we're discussing facts. We're not, parading Gypsy up and sitting here and mocking something of, her, like her eyes or something. We're discussing the facts of this case. But there are people that are up in arms and like, oh my gosh, that's, this is what we do on true crime channels. We're discussing a case. A woman was murdered, and the people responsible for it, wasn't prosecuted correctly, right? There's something wrong. So people discuss that. They discuss these things that are released in the reports and interrogations. And that's what we do. It's coming out more and more, she speaks. Yeah, Lexi, it is. Because we're seeing the lies, right? And let me tell you, she's lying about this pregnancy, which I think she is. I think perhaps she might have still been trying to get pregnant But I don't think the timeline would never be all right. So there's always it would be that she was lying. It's all a distraction. They think they're famous, and it's sick. Yeah. What is this? The court has heard medical testimony and other reliable evidence. It may declare a person to be incapacitated and appoint a guardian to make decisions on the person's behalf. Hey, Kate. Oh, thanks, Kate. No, I'm just trying to go through a lot of old interviews. I still want to watch some more of Kristy of Banfield and stuff, because she was really something. Hi, Missouri watching. It's like she's waiting for an Emmy Award for what she did. If anybody wants to call in, you can call in. You just have to email me and I'll give you the number. You don't have to appear on video. I wonder, when is she going to start leaving the breadcrumbs? Yeah, I fetch banana. I hear ya. I hear ya. It's just it's infuriating, because Nick should be in a mental hospital. Okay, because he's hearing voices and all kinds of stuff. He was totally manipulated by Gypsy. And no, she didn't say that, Pinkberry. We're just thinking that it doesn't seem to be, it seems like she's faking this pregnancy. It just seems to some of us that she's faking it. I mean, I just don't understand how Gypsy got that plea deal, really. I looked him up. Do you think he's furious? Because it looked like, was he hired by them in order, he's in an HBO documentary, and it seemed like he was almost hired by them. But then he did say that thing about, what did I go over last night, that she was dangerous or something. I have my notes, but I'm not going to go back into them. But there was something I did that he said last night. He was a hired expert. Yeah, but he was... Why would he be furious, though, Kate? Because he's the world leader on the topic, but he was the one that was saying that she was the victim of Munchausen's by proxy. I think if awareness for the case is hard. I'm not really sure what you're saying. He said her behavior, yes, exactly, Sharon, that's it, yes. Sociopathic, right, her behavior, exactly. So their own experts said that. Sociopath. Munchausen's by proxy. Heart Made Wise. Mark Feldman would say that Nick was a victim of gypsies. Oh, okay. well, I don't know. It's crazy. Let's see. I'd be scared to sleep. I would, Alicia. I really would. Chip got the plea deal because her attorney came up with the abuse, Munchausen's defense, and he took it to the court of public opinion, and the DA would have looked really bad prosecuting the little girl victim. I get you, so you have a ton of respect for Mark Feldman. He's the go-to. Yeah, I pulled up his website last night. Sorry, I've been listening. Hi, Captain Lee fan. How are you? Oh, boy, I hope the swelling goes away. We all thought different till we started looking further into the case. Yep. This case is so complicated and twisted only because we're listening to Gypsy only, and she has no credibility whatsoever. No, yeah, but I'm not listening to Gypsy only. I am going to a lot of different sources, the Discovery, other interviews, just really trying to get as much out there that we can see. I want to observe things on my own, like her behavior. But, yeah, we were all pretty snowed by her until she emerged recently. Yeah, exactly, Kate. It was a defense tactic. Yeah, and now it's like I'm trying just to get whatever I can. But about this police report, isn't there a police blotter for cutoff where they would have that if they went to the house? Because it's like I've heard this from multiple people that allegedly... Oh, and then the other thing that's circulating now on, I think it's TikTok or whatever, is that if there's a conservatorship, and that lawyer that through the gender reveal, and the other thing they're trying to clear up is that was not her house. So I don't know if that was someplace, a house that she rented for it, but it was not the lawyer's house. But allegedly, she has a conservatorship for Gypsy. But there's a lot of craziness involved. So, and with the money, and I guess the trusts, and maybe Gyp's wanting to use some of it. Okay, maybe she wanted to use that money, I don't know, for Ken to buy something. I don't know what it was. But there allegedly was a fight, a pretty big, significant fight between Kristy and Gypsy. And it keeps coming out that police were called to the house. But I have not seen a report. And I started to go look to see if there was a police blotter for cutoff, but I got distracted a million times. Is Gypsy... Oh, what's this? I'm sorry. Something over here is getting wet. What is this? Is Gypsy socially aware? It seems like she's only socially aware when she knows someone doesn't like her. I think along with that psychopathy, sociopathy, that she has an antisocial disorder, and that's why there's a disconnect, and she lacks self-awareness of what she's doing or the things that she's saying. And that crazy thing that I'm talking about where she will just, well, what if we have an argument then? Like, because that would be the end of the marriage. Like, and then that just how she flips and gets so nasty. And I think she has real anger problems. And I think she was abusive to the mother because how she would scare him so much, her anger must have been off the charts. And she like said a little bit of herself that she was going to Ken, and that she was flying off the handle. It was in an Airbnb. Gypsy has been using trust funds. She has spoken to a creator on the phone and outlined its use for all expenses, like the PR team, the manager, the lawyer, the health insurance. I heard she paid, that she gave Rod and Kristy $20,000 because they took care of her when she was in prison. She was 23 when she was arrested. Yes. I was married with a child in care. Yeah. Exactly. Kate. People think she was a child. She wasn't a child. And she was almost 24. She was weeks away from turning 24. There, Lexi, you got the same thing I just said. Yeah. Exactly. She wasn't a little kid. That's what, and people will come, like, sometimes they'll be like, oh my gosh, she's a little girl who was abused. And it's just because they didn't look into this, they don't know it, and they're just, thinking that that's what it is. She's out of touch with humanity. That frequently they don't even know how a normal person would act in a situation. Well, that goes back to them not being able to feel emotions the right way. That's why Chris Watts had to look up, how do you feel when someone tells you they love you? Do you understand? Because they don't know. Sociopaths, psychopaths, they don't have normal responses. They don't know love and feelings and empathy. So they have to look it up and they have to mirror it. And she told us that, like what she did with Nick, right? When they asked her in court with Nick, well, why did you make up, you had alter egos like Ruby and Candy and Kitty? Why did you do that? And she said, well, I did that to match Nick. So that's mirroring Nick, right? That's a manipulator will do that. She's telling us who she is. Nick to this day said he would do anything for Gypsy. Exactly. She had to pay back her dad and stepmom $20,000, which never made sense because they acted like they paid child support up until that day, which is not true, and that it's in the records of the county records. Yeah, Lexi, I heard that. We can fix her up with Scott Peterson. Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe she'll take an advocacy for him. I don't know. Oh my goodness. She knew she could get him cornered and hooked, and to an extent that she has done the same to Ryan. Yeah, Ryan was easy for her to manipulate, right? Because he was so over the moon for her. He loved her so much. And I don't think Ken is in love with her. I hate to say it. I don't see Ken in love. Do you guys see that Ken is in love with her? I think Ken came back for one reason only. Dollar bills, y'all. I don't think he thought, he said it, he even said it, I didn't think she was going to be this popular or something to that effect. Right? Ken is about the money and fame. I believe that 100%. How big of a whiteboard will we need to debunk 5 to 6 miles? A pretty big one. No, I don't see Ken in love with her. No, I don't. Rod, C, and Ryan would love their own contracts with the film company. Yeah, absolutely. They're loving it. Especially Kristy. She got herself in so many of those episodes, didn't she? She certainly did. Certainly did. Ken doesn't seem that happy. Hold on a minute. What is going on with this? Ken doesn't seem... Where did you go? Ken doesn't seem that happy or like a human in his videos. No, he doesn't seem happy. And she doesn't seem happy. Like that time when she was doing her makeup and she's like, oh, Ken's here. But she like walked right by him. And it's not like, when you're in the beginning of a relationship and it's all like, oh, you can't, you don't want to stay away from each other and you're constant. No, she was already making fun of his hair. Yeah. Remember that? What is going on with my lighting? Shut my lights or I like it. She was already making fun of his hair, remember? Twice she did it in that one video. Twice she made fun of his hair. Ken was interested when he walked in her room looking for his shirt. Oh, he was irritated and she was just as irritated. I'm live. Like, I don't know where your shirt is. She acted annoyed, and then guess who was ironing the shirt? Who was ironing the shirt? Kristy. Hi, snow remover. Yeah, it was Kristy that was ironing the shirt. Her voice, her voice does it, and I don't know. She thinks I told you about this Taylor Swift stuff. Now she wants to. She is hinting for tickets. She is 100% hinting for tickets. Once the money gets bigger, I have a feeling there might be. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think right now they're probably all pushing, like the father said that, and he went on someone's live and he said, well, Lifetime's paying for it, right? Kristy wants Ken. I'm starting to think she does. I don't know, because there's craziness there, like crazy. I don't know what is going on. There's something wacko with my lights. I don't know whether it's because I have the lights on back there, but it's... If I just shut my lights all together, I think I'm just going to shut them. Okay. She's so immature and dangerous. Yep. Taylor Swift tickets. Yeah, she said something like, oh, I can't get them. I want to go see her in New Orleans is where she wanted to go see her. And she said the tickets were $11,000. Sharon says, I don't believe there is medical abuse. Dee Dee did a lot of it for financial benefit. I agree, 100%. And it was to get trips and to do stuff to give Gypsy this great life. The entire medicine closet was 90% over-the-counter stuff and common medications. Yes, I saw that, Sharon. Her parole officer... Oh, thank you, Snow Remover. Thank you for the great coverage. Her parole officer in Greene County, Missouri, has requested her court records testimony. New charges are coming. Oh, I don't know. I've heard about... I don't know. We'll see if that's happening. I don't know. We'll see. she's a grifter, bottom line, yeah. Think here. It's on, hold on a minute, that heart thing is in the way of your text there. And I don't know what in the, I don't know, is up. I don't have any lights, and why is that happening? Did something go off on my computer? I don't know what the deal is. See if I turn the lights on. No, see? And they're not even on there. Something's wacko. Okay. Hey, Scooter. You want to call in on this, Scooter? Anybody want to call in? So what did you say? It's on case. Do you have a link? Can you send me the link? Can you send the link to my email, Missouri? The stuff about the parole officer is speculation. Yeah, the person has a very common name and could just have been somebody wanting to read about the case. Oh, yeah, that happens a lot. That happens. Remember with Shanann, people thought there was another Shanann Watts, and she had tickets, or some people said it was. You got to be careful because it's not always the same person. Even aren't there two of those Dan guys floating around and stuff? You got to be careful with that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. It's not always the same person. You think Ken's in love with Ken, Oliver? I think it's interesting that Kristy was the one that messaged Ken that he was going to be a father. And I think it's weird that when they were doing a live, that he said, Kristy is messaging me. So that would be funny because then you would be wrong, Scooter, Kristy. Kristy. It was weird that she was so familiar with Ken's dog too. Exactly. Yeah. And though that person that went on that other person's live and said that their cousin lived in the same apartment building and has a video, nothing from that ever surfaced. So that was just a bunch of craziness. There's a lot of speculation, especially on TikTok. You got to be really, really careful. Maybe Kristy is the brand. Oh my gosh. How old is Kristy? Does anybody know how old Kristy and Rod are? Let me find out how old Kristy and Rod are. Let me see. Let's see how old she is. Kristy was born in 1962, January of 1962. January of 1962. She was born in... No, that's not her. I'm so sorry. That's not her. Sorry, that's not her. I was just looking at that. That was somebody's... That's not her. Sorry. I thought that she was younger than that. Let me see. I know there was one time I figured, I looked up her age, or she said her age, I thought. And I thought she was, let me see. Because Gypsy's mother was born in 1967. And I would think that if Dee Dee was 24 And Rod was 17, right? Then he was 7 years younger, so they would have been born around 1974 or so. So it would make her 50 years old. Is that correct? Or she may have been born in 1971. Hang on a minute. She may have been born in 1971. I don't know. I'm trying to see if this is her. If that's... Yeah, I think, well, if we, okay, it's about that, and then we know that he's about 50 years old because I believe that he was be 7 years younger than Dee Dee, and Dee Dee would be 57. So that's what that would be. Now where the heck is the live stream? Here we are. Oh, thank you. Let's see what's going on here. Member for 36 months, Sergeant Rambler. I love this community. Thank you, Ruff. And then super chat, best community on YouTube. Be the first one to reply to this. Oh, thank you. I didn't even know. The other one didn't. Let me see. Can I reply to the other one? Oh, I can. Did you just hear that thing? I don't know what that is that does that. I don't know what it is. It might be the dish. Maybe it's the dishwasher. Oh, there's Margot. She's a member for 30 months. A Detective Rambler. Best community. Thank you. Going through what you're going through. Oh, sorry, Aurora. That's something that if you normally your police department puts you on an alert so that would never happen again. That's a shame that it's happened 12 times. That's really quite unheard of. What state are you in? Oh, are you? You're new to the channel? Okay. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Pinkberry says, Sharon. Pinkberry, you always make me think of ice cream. No, she's not in her 60s. I think she's 50. No, I think she is, excuse me. I think she is 53. I'm pretty sure. Does anybody know for sure? I think she was born in 1971. If it's, yeah, 1971 for them. Okay, so yeah, I think she was born in 1971. I think so. Hey, thank you, Captain Lee fan, for being a Deputy Rambler for 30 months. Best community on YouTube. I love being a Rambler. Thank you. So, let me see. I'm going to just check one thing on my email. I have another interview on Tuesday with a very interesting person. I think you're going to like That one, it's quite interesting. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. And tomorrow, it's been raining here like crazy. I'm just so upset that it hasn't been warm to be swimming, and it's just crappy because our summers are so short as they are, you know. But what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? Anyway, let's see. It's 1971, Lexi? Okay. So then, yep. And I think, I don't know what month it is, but so she'd be turning 53 or has already turned 53. But so he's younger. He's younger, right? Mommy ramblings. Okay, so let me so there is going to be on the 20th, a 3-part docu-series with Scott Peterson. So today is, what is today? Is today the 19th? So that'll be on Tuesday. And that is on, I believe it's on Peacock. I believe it's on Peacock. Thank you, Debbie 2 Scooter. Okay, yeah. It's on Peacock. And what else? What else about Gypsy? She was only supposed to be at Ken's house for a couple of days. I have heard that, and I don't remember where I heard it from, whether it was a TikTok or it was a message board or it was something, but somebody was saying that she was staying in New Orleans or something longer than she should have been. I don't know what the deal is on that. Because does Ken live in New Orleans? I don't think so, right? Doesn't Ken live kind of close to them? Didn't he get an apartment near them? I don't know. I think so, right? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where Ken's apartment is. I know that it doesn't look like, I thought, you know, I mean, it, I don't know. So, let's see. Stay on top chat or be in timeout. Oh, stay in top. Oh, Scooter's getting serious now. So anyway, what is supposed to happen? So she should be having an anatomy scan. Gypsy, in case you don't know, you should be having an anatomy scan by the time you're 20 weeks. And that would come, you don't have to go in some like little place. They would do that right at your doctor's office. They would do a full anatomy scan. And wait a minute, she's going to be 18 weeks, isn't she now? Because she posed with a little onion. And so Ken's apartment is in New Orleans. Oh, it is in New Orleans. Okay. All right, so how far is that from cutoff? And people have been asking her about when are you going to go get a driver's license? But is she allowed to go out by herself? Or does she always have to have somebody with her? Where is she going to, when is she going to find out who the dad is? You mean season 3 or something, right? Because they started filming season 2, they said it like the 25th or 27th of July. I think they're going to be wrapping up filming pretty soon, right? Wouldn't you think so? How long is it going to take them? Unless they're going to go into the, I don't know. Then what is she? She has limited time. If she's not pregnant, she has limited time to, she's dug herself into a hole. She's in deep. If she's not pregnant, she is in deep right now because she doesn't have time. Limited pics came out. Yeah, they have a lot that hasn't come out. And then she had that makeup artist that flew in just to do her makeup. And they have like little sneak peeks going on. But I can't believe like that Lifetime isn't getting a lot of backlash. But like Lifetime, they're not really like a moral standard. I mean, like when they did the they're like documentaries and stuff. The only one, but I don't know that it was produced by Lifetime. The only one that was really good was the one for Jodi Arias. But like the one they did for Chris Watts was ridiculous. They acted like Thrive was like crack or something. Remember that? And they had this stupid thing where they would do like 2 curls or something, and then they play this stupid music. And that was like the worst. That was so filled with just non-factual stuff that was horrendous. So they're not always like at all, the moral standard in TV. So I don't even know if they would even care. I don't even think they would care if people said anything. She says she's not, Kevin. She claims, and I saw that she made $100,000 or $150,000 for the book, and then each season of Lifetime was $150,000. Thank you. Proud to be a Rambler in the best community on YouTube. Member for 49 months. The Heart Made Wise Detective Rambler. Thank you, Heart Made Wise. And then she said that, and then she said something about 4,000 on TikTok. I don't know what that's a week, a month. I don't know what she was saying. Kind of lost on that one. I can't remember that, or if I was even dreaming that part of it. So, yeah. But I am going to be rewatching Life After Lockup, because I want to just go and get into that, and reevaluate it now, knowing what I know, like after that interrogation. And, Ryan said he never watched the interrogation. And then Ken went on a live and somebody asked him, and he said that Nick was right where he should be because he did the act. He sounded just like Gypsy. He's the one that straddled Dee Dee, and on a live tour, he's right where he should be. But like he just negates Gypsy's whole role in that, right? And I don't think they want to see the interrogation. But if they watched Mommy Dead and Dearest, which you would think that they did, then and Rod and Kristy know about all the texts that came out and stuff because they saw it in court. Let's see. She said the book was 110 shared between 5 people. The first series was 250, but you can't really spend that till the divorce settlement. Okay. Yeah, was it 125 each? I thought it was 150 each. She still owes the mommy dead and dearest money, though. What about for the act? Did she get anything on the act? And then there was another one on the ID channel, which was, did anybody ever see this one? It's on the ID channel. It's called Gypsy's Revenge. It's not the topic, but much love to the Rusaks. Oh, yes, Pinkberry. Yep. Sandy has some new cooking videos up. She's finally coming back and doing those. We were going over that today, her and I. And she's here a lot on the Pinkberry, on the auction nights, and it's probably a little late for her right now, but she's here like on earlier lives a lot. Lifetime has really changed. Yeah, that really has. That's when Dee Dee's family spoke, but they definitely changed their minds now that they know the facts. Yeah, and I heard her sister's friend on another live stream about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so. I know you do, Scooter. I just can't watch the egg salad one because you know I don't like egg salad. I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. That's the only one that I have a problem with. That's the only one. Oh yes, Pinkberry, I can attest to that. I've had many things she's cooked. Very good. Let's see. And what else do we have to discuss? What time is it? Oh, so did anybody see Gypsy's Revenge? It's on ID Discovery. At first I thought it was a joke, but it's real. I don't know if I ever saw that. So that is another one that's on my list. But if it's just like dealing with the facts that we know are not the facts, like if it's just like a dramatization of Munchausen's by proxy, I'm not going to watch it because it's not true. Like, I mean, there's no point. Trying to think, yeah. I hope it gets warm tomorrow, but I doubt it. It's supposed to rain in the afternoon. That's not good. And I started to get some started to get some stuff together so that I can hopefully get some stuff shipped out tomorrow. It's just been so crazy with everything. Oh, Ethan's girlfriend's mother sent home, listen to this, homemade peach jam. And Jimmy, I almost said Gypsy, tried it. Oh, gosh. No, Gypsy did not try it. Jimmy tried it, and he said it was unbelievable. He said it was unbelievable. So I'm going to maybe have some of that in the morning. She is an advocate. No, she's not advocating for anybody. Gypsy is not. Gypsy's Revenge was so cringe. Oh, so then I'm just crossing that off. That's good. Because it looks cringe. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was fake. That'll be done. I don't even know if I want to rewatch the act because that's all based on facts that are not the facts, right? But let me see. I definitely want to watch Life After Lockup again. Scooter, did you ever watch Life After Lockup for her? I wonder if I think you watched like a couple of episodes. You came in and watched for us, but yeah, I think I might put some of those on. I don't know. Only that one episode? Well, I'm going to start rewatching. Now, for our members and our Patreons, just so you know, you're able to come into Zooms with us where we watch movies, we watch documentaries, stuff like that. So that's a perk of being a member or a Patreon. So what's going to happen is we're going to sign off. But if you're a member, and our member prices are really low, it's like $1.99, then I will put a post up on the community tab, and if you're a member, you'll see it. If you're a Patreon, you'll see it. Hey, thank you, Snow Remover. Snow Remover just gifted 5 memberships. Oh dear, thing 1, you're not supposed to be here. Kelly's sweetheart got one. Lexi, you got a membership from Snow Remover. Wonderful. Mama Wolf got a membership from Snow Remover. Very good. But, so if you want to come in, I'm going to start rewatching Life After Lockup. And that was very nice, right, Missouri Watching? I think there's still another one up for grabs. I think you guys have to have your gifting button on or something to get it. Thank you, Snow Remover. But I'm going to, this is a shout out to the people that are in Zoom. I'm going back into the Zoom so that I can get the number to call, to put into the post. So don't get worried. Wait a minute, why is it, okay, I am going to just, you know what, I'm just going to start a new one because I think we have to start a new one anyway. Yeah, I don't know why, the other one must have died. I thought I started it earlier, but it must be, I don't know, how did it die like that? Did it die when I left? Because, yeah, that's weird. Okay. So I'm going to put it in on the membership here, and then you will be able to see it if you're a member, and then can come in. You don't have to have your camera on. And we're going to watch the Life After Lockup. I hope we will. I hope all the episodes are able to be watched again. If not, we'll watch something else. But we're going to try that. What is going on with this? What am I doing? I'm trying to make a post and it says I want to schedule a thing in the new control room. No, I don't want to schedule something in the new control room. I want to just make a post. Oh boy. Hang on. Create a post. Let me ramblings. Okay. Okay, so if you're a member, you're going to see this, all right? Posting it now. Right there. And I don't know what happened to the other Zoom that we were in before this because I'm lost a little bit. Okay. Oh, the Zoom ended. I just see you guys said it. It ended when I left, but it didn't even say end for all. I don't know. I guess it ended when I left. Okay. You guys, okay, whatever. Now there's a new one. All right. So yeah, you can come, and whether we watch Life After Lockup or sometimes those episodes are not available. I don't know. I want to, but I can't. I'm tired lately at night. Are you really? You're antisocial as well. It's okay. Alicia Cruz, you got your membership. Yay! Did you get it from Snow Remover? If you can see the post, Alicia, you can come in. Okay, so I'm going to end this, and anybody that wants to come in can come on in.
Come on in the Zoom.
The water's fine. You'll be fine.
We don't bite.
We don't bite. No, not unless we're cornered into backed
Exactly.
into a corner. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats and the memberships, and thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, or you can come into the Zoom. And anytime you join that, that post should become available to be seen for you. So we will see you very soon. Bye. Love you guys. God bless.
Bye-bye.